you learn to be an entrepreneur? Is it something that you can go to school and get a degree in, like perhaps at INSEAD? All right, we have two people with us today who can answer that question. Filipe Santos, you're the Assistant Professor of Entrepreneurship and the Director of the MAG Entrepreneurial Center. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shelley.
And Paul Kewane Height, you're the Entrepreneur in Residence, a volunteer position.
Correct.
Filipe, what is the MAG Center?
We see the MAG Entrepreneurship Center as the catalyst for innovations in entrepreneurship at INSEAD. So in a way you could see the center as the corporate entrepreneur within INSEAD for the area of entrepreneurship. What we aim to do is to really innovate in teaching, in research, in outreach to alumni, to make INSEAD the best business school in the world for entrepreneurship by 2015. So I have a very clear metric there. And we are funded by one of our alumnus, Rudolf Mag, and we are setting up in place a series of programs and initiatives to really make entrepreneurship a more central element at INSEAD for the MBAs with the Entrepreneurship Accelerator and the alumni and the bootcamps, for the alumni with promoting angel investment activities, identifying the leading entrepreneurs from INSEAD to create role models, and also by trying to leverage some of the great innovations in teaching that our faculty has been developing and leverage those innovations to basically communicate them and improve them to the outside as well.
Now, Paul Kewane Height, you are the Entrepreneur in Resident and you run boot camps for entrepreneurs here.
I do.
So you're part of Filipe's approach to teaching entrepreneur, kind of a guerrilla approach.
Yeah.
What's the boot camp like?
Well, first, I'm one of many entrepreneurs in residence. I happen to be the one that's participating in the boot camps. And the boot camp is a 48-hour immersion experience where we've been running it for MBAs. We also did our first boot camp for alumni, and we're going to start offering more boot camps for alumni groups, hopefully around the world. Long story short on what the experience is, on the first evening, we happen to be doing it on weekends at the moment. Say on Friday night we get together and we talk about what matters most in a new entrepreneurial venture. And I emphasize team being the most important, that execution is the next most important, and that idea is really not the most important, it's more down the line, say the third most important. We talk about how to generate an idea, and people always have more ideas than they realize. But they obsess on the, can I do this, can I be an entrepreneur, I don't have an idea, I don't have a team, I don't know if they just come and experience the thing, be prepared to work hard, they'll find out that they really do have ideas. If they are honest with themselves, they have ideas, they hear the ideas of others, they start listening to other people talk, they start forming the idea of a team in their mind, then we go through the process of organizing into teams. And before they go to bed that first night, they have to commit to a team and an idea. And
then the second day. And Filipe, do you get involved with this?
Yeah, and I was actually one of the, so the model is that they go through this exercise for 48 intensive hours, and then at the end they will pitch in 2 minutes to a set of potential investors, and I was role-playing one of the investors last weekend when we did the bootcamp. It was really a very amazing experience. So people that arrived without knowing a lot about entrepreneurship, just curious, in 48 hours they were in front of me, delivering a credible pitch in a team, having done the research, communicating clearly the idea and their vision. They were really very good pitches. And we have had very good feedback from people. Initially we thought this will be a great experience for INSEAD MBA students, but now INSEAD alumni, even people already running their companies, are actually really finding value in this experience. And we had one person with a CEO of a small company trying to grow that was telling us this was a really amazing experience that allowed me to challenge my own assumptions about the business model, about my market, how I communicate what I'm doing. So this was very, very valuable. So now we are going to try to deliver more bootcamps for the alumni of INSEAD to really try to develop this innovative way of teaching and increase and add value to the alumni community of INSEAD.
How do people sign up for the bootcamps?
So we have an online registration, and we'll announce a few dates very soon about when the next bootcamps will take place. And we hope that the alumni will join us in this great experience.
So where do they find you online, though? I mean, give me the website.
So it's the INSEAD website, www.insead.edu/ICE. I-C-E.
I'm online, I've signed up.
Right.
Then what happens?
They're limited enrollment, so we'll take a certain number depending on the venue, and then you're sent information about when to arrive. your registration covers the food and the lodging and the venue, and that you should bring comfortable clothes. Because we're working over the weekend, we're not grading anybody on suits and ties. You need to be comfortable because you're going to work. Then they arrive on the day of, and at 7:30 we meet. And if we're traveling to an external venue, we'll have a bus, or if we're at the venue already, you arrive at 7:30. And then we start. And by the time they go to bed, they have teams and ideas agreed, written down on a piece of paper. We are on a team. We are going to do this idea. Then they wake up the next morning, and we start work in earnest. And I've developed a syntax. It's really just how I have always prepared for meetings, what I do at the beginning of a new venture, what I do with my teams in companies. And I take them through my personal syntax of how I would prepare. You know, the questions I go through. And so at the top of every hour, an alarm goes off, like in a boot camp. And I'll give a presentation, think about the following, and then I give them an assignment, and they have a fixed amount of time to finish that assignment. My alarm goes off, I call everyone back in. And if people aren't back into the room, I start talking to an empty room. And people figure out pretty quickly that they need to come back. And then I give context for the next assignment, start them on their assignment, and then they work. And I have alarms going off all day in this structured syntax throughout the course of the day. And it's interesting to see people go from the I'm not sure what this means or how I should do it, and I go in the breakout sessions team by team and work with them. But it's really great for me to see by the end of that Saturday, the first full day, but the second day of work, to see how people are really excited about their ventures, whether it's their own company that they're putting through it or a brand new idea that they just did on Friday night. And then on Sunday, we finish off those timed sessions hour by hour, and after lunch, we start pitching. And I have them pitch inside 60-second windows as a team. And if there are 2 on the team, 3 or 4 on the team, they pitch to me in 60 seconds and it's timed. And then I give them feedback on the pitch, and then I turn the tables and I pitch their own idea back to them. And then we do that as many times as we can. Then I pair out teams and they go off and they prepare. And I walk around and I work with them. And then the suits arrive at 3:30. And I bring the judges, the professional angels that come in to hear the pitches. They come in, everyone's in the room, and they're called forward one team at a time randomly to pitch for 2 minutes. And they have 120 seconds. And it's astonishing every time to see, for me, gratifying in an astonishing way, to watch these teams present credibly, with confidence, their idea. That's now a company that could be funded.
Clearly, we'll have to get a lot of boot campers in here.
We do.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Shelley.
you.